What up, everybody? What up? What up? Welcome back to Let's Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Dustin Calloway. Hey, and let's get into it, baby. So as you can see, I made a few adjustments to the setup here. Had to get a a little equipment, and this is what I want to say to people because I get a lot of this. A lot of people ask me, hey, what do you do, man? How do you set up a podcast? How do you do this and how you do that? So the only step that I have not completed right now yet is I haven't actually put my podcast on any kind of like a podcast platform, and I'm still in the works of doing my research on that. I have so many different moving parts, man. So I won't say it's hard or anything like that, but it's just, you just got to do your homework and stuff like that. So let me adjust my volume here a little bit, peeking out a little bit. But yeah, so it's just a big process, honestly. And honestly, the only thing I can tell people is you have to invest in yourself, right? So if you get a little bit of cash, start saving it up. You know what I'm saying? Like all this equipment and stuff that I pay for, it's not super duper expensive. Some people may go the super duper expensive route. Honestly, it's not that expensive. Just you got to do a little bit of research. As far as like when you get the software and stuff that you need to use to actually record yourself, learn how to use your camera, learn how to set up your mic and all that good old stuff. And other than that, you'll be good. Like. I know I see a lot of people when they run their podcast, they use headsets and stuff like that. I'm kind of monitoring everything on my own, so I don't necessarily need to use my headset right now because I can see my levels, you know what I'm saying? So I know if I'm over here, how loud I need to talk based on the levels I see on the screen. So I can pretty much run this however, the way that I have it right now, I can run it this same way and it'll be good. But today is going to be a pretty good damn episode. It's going to be a really, really good episode. And today's episode, I am going to call it The Truth Shall Set You Free. Hashtag Fresh. That's the name of the episode today. The Truth Shall Set You Free. Hashtag Fresh. And today's episode, it's important to me for a few different reasons. And the reason why it's super important to me is because it's a lot of people out here dealing with shit and they don't really have an outlet or a way to really deal with it because of the way the world is now and the way the world used to be. I won't say that the world is still that way now, but it's the way the world used to be, at a certain point in time. So a lot of people are having a hard time dealing with the way they want to live their lives, right? And the way, it's a lot of people out here to judge people for how they choose to live. And today I wanted to hit on one of those topics that I feel like it's one of those things that a lot of people are afraid to deal with. And it's a lot of people that are afraid to still accept it. It is what it is. I'm not I'm not saying that I'm one of those people that I'm for just, do this and do that. Like, nah, you know what I'm saying? But my way of living and thinking about the way that we live our lives is kind of like, you can't tell somebody how to live their life. If they want to do this, let them go do it. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. In certain instances, you might want to speak up if you feel like somebody is about to go off the edge. It don't hurt to speak up and tell that person, like, hey man, you going a little too far, man. You might want to ease up. It doesn't hurt to be a friend to someone and tell them that you may think, you think something that they may be doing in their life may be pushing them to the point where you think it's gonna harm them. So it don't hurt to share that type of information with people. But as long as you being respectful, you know what I'm saying, and you're not doing it in a way where you coming across on them like, super duper, just trying to beat them down, right? So today's episode is going to kind of be along those lines, right? I don't want to beat you down, bruh, but I definitely want to have a conversation about what the way that you operating and how harmful it could be to a lot of different people, man, if you don't really manage your life the right way and be real and truthful, right? So let's get into it, man. So today's episode comes from a space where, as I live this life and I go on this journey, man, and I'm just like out here operating in the streets and I'm talking to people, I meet people, I see people, or I'm having a conversation with my people at the barbershop, I'm always taking notes. So don't get me wrong. Don't ever look at my comedy if I'm doing my funny stuff, I'm not trying. If I'm doing my funny stuff, if I'm making my skits and stuff like that, don't ever look at it like, because this is the energy that I get from people. When I go in different places, like a lot of the people that I went to school with or whatever, blah, 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 or just people I may know from around the way, as soon as I see them, it seems like it's a weird energy in the air, right? And the weird energy comes from everyone thinking, because I make funny videos on Instagram, at Dustin Calloway on Instagram, they think that when I see them, I'm automatically thinking about something funny to say. Nah, it just comes. Like if I see something funny in that moment, in that day, I'm gonna take a note of it and I'm gonna talk about it if it really pushes me to the point where I want to try to be funny about it, or if I want to talk about it. But if it's like, I'm not literally sitting around when I see people just always looking for something funny to say. Nah, a lot of the stuff that I really come up with, it just comes natural. Like sometimes I won't even be around people when I think of something that I feel is funny, or if it's something I want to talk about. I don't have to be around people. I could just be sitting there thinking and it'll just come out. So when y'all see me around, don't automatically, look and feel uncomfortable because you think I'm over there taking mental notes on you. I'm not. And if you feel like it's something that I put inside my podcast or on one of my videos on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, it's about you, hey, it just happened to be something that I'm talking about that might be about you. But today's episode comes from a space of a conversation that I had, with a couple people, a couple of my people. And one thing led to another. We were just having a conversation, and I just happened to mention a dude's name that we went to school with, that we knew. And then it turned from, oh no, it went from, oh, you don't know what's going on with dude, huh? And I'm like, nah, what's going on with dude? So basically, one of these dudes that I went to high school with, right? He was always on that, I get all the chicks, shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm the man out here in the streets, you know what I'm saying? I do this, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. And, basically one thing led to another. Come to find out, this dude is, he gay, right? Gay. So this is not to say that I have anything wrong against the gay community, right? Don't have nothing against the gay community at all. But the one thing that I have a problem with is, I got a problem with the dudes that pretend. The dudes that live on the low. Like, and the reason why I have a problem with it is because this ain't the old days where people didn't accept, it was just, you about to get your ass whooped just because you choose to be gay, if you gay, whatever, right? I have an issue with it when you have dudes like this dude that I went to school with that sit up here and live this pretend life, right? You pretending like, that ain't the world that you live in, and you trying to pretend for the streets like you don't do that, and then you laying up under all these different women, right? Knowing that you're on the other end doing all this stuff with men, right? And the reason why I have an issue with it is not because of the lifestyle that you chose to live. Be free. Do whatever you want to do. Be that guy. You know what I'm saying? Live in that world. I have a problem with it because what a lot of people don't realize is, right? And let me just get personal for a second. Growing up, I had one of my brothers, rest in peace, Damien. Rest in peace. He was my older brother. He was way older than me. But he was gay, right? But the one, and I'm talking about, he was gay back in them times where people got picked on really bad for being gay, right? But the one thing that I would tell you about my brother that I remember, I don't recall him ever trying to act like he wasn't. Like, he would go into his moments, right, when we would see like our girl cousins or whatever at like parties and stuff like that and cookouts, and he'll just turn up and go into house party mode, right? You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what house party mode is, like that time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator. It's time, like he'll turn up and just, start dancing and snapping and doing the leg kicks and shit like that. But the one thing I remember is I don't remember him ever pretending with me like he liked chicks. He never did that. He never pretended, right? He never, he didn't care. He just went against whatever, this is who he knew who he wanted to be. And that's who he was, through and through. He didn't pretend like that wasn't the world that he was living in. That was the world that he was living in, and he stayed in that world. And he didn't try to pretend for no one. So that's the issue that I have with all of these dudes out here that play pretend. They play pretend like They're not gay, and they do stuff in the streets with people that are gay, that live in that world, that don't care, right? And then when those gay people come and put them on blast, all of a sudden, or don't even put them on blast, but when they, because this is what they do, they sneak around with them, right? They sneak around in the streets with them, and then, they don't tell nobody about it. And I'm not saying that you have to tell people about it, but this is me just saying, be yourself, be free, man. If you know you gay and that's the world you live in, just live in your world, man. And don't care about nothing that nobody else is talking about. But long story short, the way that this dude had to get put on blast, he got put on blast by another like a gay dude, right? That he was messing around with, or that knew somebody that he was messing around with. He had to put him on blast because supposedly he saw him out somewhere, right? And I guess he went up to speak to him or something, and then he tried to front on him. He fronted on him in front of the people that don't know he gay, that didn't know at the moment that he was gay. So he tried to flex on dude. So dude had to put him on blast. So he ended up getting put on blast on a phone conversation, that he didn't know was being recorded by another gay person. And they was talking about getting together and doing some freaky deaky shit. So I heard all the calls. I saw the video where the dude put him on blast, and I heard the call. And it was him on that call. Heard the call. It was him on that call. And, they were talking about setting up stuff, going to the hotel and all this stuff, and going up to his spot, his little business. And the crazy part is, I was blown away because when you go look at my man's social media and the way that he try to carry himself out here in the streets, he be trying to pretend like that ain't the world that he live in. So it's like, damn, dude, like, why you doing that? So it's a couple of different reasons why I wanted to have this episode the way that this topic today on my podcast. It's because, one, when I go back to my brother, right? Like I told you, my brother, he didn't care. He lived his life. He did whatever he did. He was gay. Like, that's what he did. He went out there in this world and he lived his life. And one thing I will never, ever be afraid to talk about is the truth behind some of the dangers of living in that world. So, disease. So, somewhere along the lines, my brother got sick. And he got that package, the thing that you can't never get rid of. He got the package, right? Now, let's just say if my brother was living in that world where he was pretending. He wanted to live on both sides of the world, right? And he was pretending because of everything that everybody talked about being gay. And don't get me wrong, when my brother was growing up, he was who he was, but it was a lot of people that had a problem with him being gay. A lot of them, and they always teased him about it, said stuff to him about it, said stuff about it, talked behind his back, and I know this for a fact. And he still didn't care. But it's a lot of people in that same position that they'll go, they know if you make fun of them, they'll just go and pretend like that ain't them, right? So they'll do this whole thing where they'll get a family, right? They'll get a whole family, get a little wife, get kids, and knowing that ain't the life that they really want to live. But they doing it for the people like us because they think that it's just going to be, I ain't going to have to deal with as much, right? So that's the reason why I have an issue with people that live in that world and they try to pretend. Because you go out here and get a whole family. You get a wife, you get kids. Or let's just say you get a wife and y'all ain't got no kids yet, right? And let's just say you ain't want that wife, but you still got to live in this world and you got to keep up this image, right? So you got a wife, but on the side, what she don't know is you going out here smashing men. And let's just say you run across one of those men that got AIDS, right? And then you bring that back to your wife, right? And then your wife, y'all still smashing. She don't know she got the virus yet, right? And then next thing you know, y'all start having kids, popping kids out, right? But she still don't know because it ain't hit her system and destroyed her yet all the way until she goes to the doctor to get her checkup because she's pregnant. They do her blood work and just checking on how healthy the baby is. They do the blood work, and the blood work come back and say that, you infected with AIDS, you got HIV, and you going to probably pass it to the baby too, right? You know that, right? And then she looking at you like, damn, what happened? How did I get AIDS? How did I get sick? I ain't been sleeping around. Look at you. All your fucking lying that you doing, all this creeping behind the wall you doing, You done brought that home to her and got her sick, man. And now it's a possibility that your kid gonna get sick now. So all this shit you doing hiding behind closed doors, why not just go live in that world, man? Knowing good and damn well that you don't like the women that you posted up on your social media. You don't like them. You don't. I get it. You got a business to run. So you use all these naked models and shit like that as part of your promotion. But how many of them are you sleeping with? On top of going to mess around with the other dudes. With the dudes. How many of them? And I get it. I know some people are going to say, well, there's people out there that like both. All right, man. I hear what you're saying. Sure. Okay? But in this dude's case that I'm talking about, no, you don't, man. Not after the phone call that I heard. You don't like women, dude. You don't like women. And I could just tell. Like, just listening to the call, dude, you don't like women. You don't. And you living in this world where you playing these games, man, like, this ain't back in the days, bruh. You don't have to keep living in that lie that a lot of people live in, feeling like if I come out and say something, I'm going to get beat up on the elevator, or I'm going to get rocks thrown at me, or I'm going to get killed by my community. No, you're not. No, you're not. Dude, when I was in high school, man, I was in high school with a few dudes that were gay. It was like three or four of them. But not one time do I recall anybody ever saying anything to them. I don't recall it. I never saw it. And if they did get called some names out some people or somebody picked on them, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. I heard the stories though. I knew about them and I saw them. Like, some of them I was in choir with them. I knew it. But I don't recall ever seeing nobody bother them. So, and this is years ago. So we living in a time now where, be free, bruh. We living in a time now where it's in your favor now. It's in your favor. Go be free, man. But you living this life where you pretending for Instagram, you pretending for Facebook, you pretending for all of social media like that ain't the world that you live in. You ain't got to run no more. How disrespectful is it to the community? To your whole community, man, of people. The LGBTQ, I don't know all the letters, man. I don't. How do they feel? You know what I'm saying? Like you out here pretending and you lying, man. Like, don't get me wrong. You know, I get it. There may still be communities out there where the community might destroy you if they find out that you gay. Not the community that we live in, bro. You live right by me. I know. I be in these streets, dude. I see these people out here. I see them all the time. I see the people of the people that choose to live that life. I see those people out here. It's a whole mixed up community of people that just, we all people. We all just live around each other. I don't see nobody in the streets getting beat up for being the way that they are. Look, the truth shall set you free, my man. You don't have to lie anymore. You don't have to pretend for anyone anymore, man. At all. And it's crazy that you live like this because, again, you can get your family sick. And the crazy part is when I think about it, this man got kids. I think he had like a girl or something that he was living with or something like that. I don't know if they're together right now, but, it ain't no telling, dude. Like, how long have you been like that? Or, did your girl leave you because she knew that? But what if you sick now? Do you even go to the hospital to get checked out to see if anything is wrong with you? But you going out here sleeping with this person, that person, this person, and you probably passing shit around. And like I can even say this. I'll go back to my brother again. When my brother got sick, it was like instant. Like, it was like right away. Like, he went to get tested at the hospital one day, came back, boom, he found out that he was sick. Now, living in the world that he live in, I don't even know if they have, protected sex. I don't know that. So, how many different people did he pass it to? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the question that I used to ask myself. Like, damn, I wonder if, because to me, when he found out that he had it, he was gone quick right after that. He had got sick, and then next thing you know, boom, he was gone. You know what I'm saying? And it made me think, like, when he found out that he was sick, did he know before then? or was he still just kind of living his regular life, right? Because when he went to the hospital and, and he laid down for that last time when he was sick in the hospital, he was gone. He never came back out of the hospital. But before that, I don't recall him ever being at the hospital, going to get treatment or nothing like that. I don't recall that. And then the next thing you know, he was gone. So then when you think about it, how many other people did he get sick? Or like the person who got him sick? You know what I'm saying? Were they just being reckless? And they just like, fuck it, we gonna go out like this? So that's why I have an issue with the way that he operate, because the community that we live in, it's like this the city is big, right? The city is big, but a lot of these dudes that I know from around the way, they all mess with the same chicks. They all mess with the same girls. It'd be like a little tight little knit community of these so-called bad chicks that they all be messing with. So it's like, what if you sick, you get one of them sick, and then y'all all passing these girls around, you know what I'm saying? And what if you get one of them sick? One of the women sick? I'm not saying that, this is not me saying that the LGBT community just go around getting people sick, but I'm just talking about how reckless it is. Like everyone knows, man, that when you do that backdoor sex, man, you already know what that could potentially lead to, man. You can get sick for real. You can get sick off of, and this is like even like men and women doing that shit. That backdoor sex. You can pass some shit through there. You can. But as far as the community goes with him, that's all they really doing. Backdoor, backdoor. It's just backdoor action, for real. Backdoor action. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a higher chance of y'all passing something through there. You know what I'm saying? Just because that's just the way it is. Now, don't get me wrong. Even if you got the man on woman sex, if she out here reckless or he out here reckless, you could pass that package that way too. Different packages, multiple packages. You know what I'm saying? But in his case, like I just don't appreciate the fact that he out here lying, he out here pretending, and then, you got to get put on blast because the dude that lives in that community that's open and free about it, he felt disrespected. You try to pretend like you don't know that man when you see him in public. Like, what's up with it, boy? What's up, bud? And then you flip on him. Nah, bruh. You better keep it real. You better keep it real because real won't come get your ass. You done got beat up and kissed. You got beat up and kissed. Now you getting put on blast for this. It seems like your life is crumbling. So your girl leave you. You get beat up and kissed by a dude. And then you getting put on blast for this. It seems like you might be living in hell, bruh. It seems like you need to just stop pretending. The funny thing is, I'll take you to a story about this dude. Now that I think about it, I thought about it, and I actually had a conversation about this the other day. The same dude that I'm talking about right now, it was I was at this at the store, right? So I was with my lady, and we was at the store, and we was at, I want to say AutoZone or some shit like that, and I was getting I want to say I was changing the oil on my car, and I was in there just getting oil, right? And my girl was in there with me because we had to get a couple things, and we was standing in line, right? And I had grabbed everything I grabbed, and then he just happened to walk up on me, right? He was just like right next to me. And I hadn't seen him in a while, right? And this ain't like, he ain't like my friend. He's just somebody that I went to school with. Like, I just know him from around the way from when we was younger. And when I saw him, he walked up like, what's up, Dust, man? What up? I'm like, what's good? And he saw my girl standing there with me. And then he looked down and saw what I had. And it was like some oil change shit. And you know what he said? He said, yeah, man, you come up to my shop, man, you ain't even got to worry about stuff like that, man. I'm like, your shop? You own a fucking detailing shop. I'm like, oh, y'all do oil changes at the detailing shop now? So that goes back to all the bullshit that you play, bruh. You come up on me talking and you trying to flex what, for my girl? You trying to flex for my girl now, but now when I think about it, the way that you live in your life now, you was trying to flex for me. You were trying to impress me and not even my fucking girl. Because when I thought about it after we left, I'm like, I said, hold on. This motherfucker don't change oil at his spot. This, in my mind, when I was in the car, I'm like, this motherfucker just trying to flex for my girl. But the crazy part is women, they know that shit. They got the motherfucking, it's like a magic power that they have. As soon as we got in the car, she was just like, oh, he gay. I'm like, oh, I'm like, hold on. I'm like, you, man, what? She was like, yeah. She was like, He ain't trying to flex for me. Trust me, he wasn't trying to flex for me. She was like, I just know, I can just tell. I'm like, nah. I'm like, I feel a little disrespected because I'm thinking this dude tried to flex on me, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? He tried to flex on me real quick, and in front of my girl. And then I started thinking after she said that, I'm like, no, I brushed it off, and this was just like a couple years ago. But then when I hit this story right here, and this all pop up, I'm like, damn, she was right. She was fucking right. That motherfucker was trying to flex for me. The whole time I'm thinking that this dude is in there trying to front, you know what I'm saying, for my girl to basically let her know, yeah, I got a shop, and if your dude want to come up here and get his little oil change, even though it's a fucking detailing shop, sorry about that, you tried to flex for me. My man, stop that shit, bruh. Stop that shit. Go that way with that. Go that way. Because it don't happen. That ain't happening over here, partner. You know what I'm saying? It ain't happening over here. Like, and that's I'm not homophobic or nothing like that. I don't have no fear of the LGBT community. I don't have no fear of them at all. Like I said, live your life, man. But you have to stop fucking pretending. Because do you think it's better to just, be yourself now? Or destroy your kids when they get older? You know what I'm saying? Like, this whole time they thinking that you this and you that. Like, and if you think about it, what if one of your kids right now, right? Because some people, we always hear these conversations, right, where people talk about you can't be born gay, right? Because they always, you get the church people that always say you can't be born gay because they say, God, he would never make an abomination, blah, blah, blah. And I just be like, damn, that's crazy, man. So I'm like, you can't be born gay, but you could be born with no arm. You could be born mentally, mentally retarded. You could be born mentally retarded. You could be born with no eyes. You could be born with no legs. You could be born with a half a body. You could be born with 10 toes. You could be born brain just on the outside of your head, heart on the outside of your chest. You could be born with all these different conditions, right? You can be born with that condition. I ain't the one, but if y'all watch this show called Person of Interest, right? It was this girl. She was born with a condition where I'm not the science dude, but she was born with this condition where she didn't have no emotions. So they was in a car driving one day, right? And her and her dad was in the car driving. The car flipped over. Her dad died. She was just in the car like, hello? And the firefighter came and saved her, right? And then he pulled her out the car, and he was explaining to her, like, you know what happened, right? And she was just sitting there with the dead face, like, yeah, is my dad okay? And then he was like, well, yeah, your dad, he didn't make it. And she was just like, oh, I'm hungry. So she just like didn't have no emotion. It didn't register with her, right? But you could be born like that. You could be born a psycho. You could be born mentally crazy. I'm talking about, y'all done seen some of them crazy kids running around here. I'm talking about some of them just turn into serial killers as soon as they hit 5 years old. You could be born like that though, right? With brain all screwed up. You could be born with a bunch of screws loose. But you don't think that it's possible for a little boy to be born a little boy, but be a little girl on the inside. You don't think that a little girl can be born, right? And be a little girl, pretty little girl. And you don't think that something can be different up in here in the brain that makes her feel like a little boy. That's insane for you to all think that we live in this world where nothing like that can happen. But you know what everybody keep doing? They use religion to try to cover up that shit. They try to cover it up with religion and the good book it says that you can't. I'm like, look here, man. That good book was written by somebody that looked like me and you. You can't keep going back there. You can't keep pretending like you don't see certain shit when you walking around on the earth every day. Like you ain't never seen a little kid like, yeah, that little kid gonna be gay when they get older. You ain't never seen that? Come on, man. We've all seen that shit. We've all seen it. What y'all think? What y'all think? What do y'all think made Dwayne Wade's son the way he is? What y'all think he wasn't? What y'all think he just saw something on TV and just said all of a sudden I want to be a little girl or I'm gay or whatever he want to be? No, me personally, I believe that you can be born gay. I believe you can be born gay, or you could be born, let's not even call it gay. You could just be born different. You can be born different. As a matter of fact, go on YouTube and go look at the show. It's called Born Different. So many different people that you see born with different conditions, right? It's just a condition. That's all it is. It's just who you are. My condition is I was just born the way that I am, right? Somebody else may be born with one damn eye. Somebody else may be born with one eye here in the middle. Somebody might be born with no lips. It's just the way you are, man. It's just the way you came out. It's just your makeup. That's who you are. The truth shall set you free, bruh. Go live in that world, man. Go live in that world, because now when I go through my brain and I start thinking back to every time I saw you, dude, when we was younger, coming up, like, you was always like that. Now that I think about it, you wasn't trying to impress females. You was trying to impress the dudes that you was around. Be free and go live in that world, man. That's who you are, man. But you out here flexing, trying to pretend like, yeah, man, I got all these. Man, no, the fuck you don't, bruh. You got all the dudes, man. That's all right, man. Go be in that world, man. Go be in that world. And when I see you, dude, I ain't gonna be like, ugh, get away from me. I'm not. I ain't gonna say, ugh, get away from me, because in my world, that's homophobic. Like, you don't scare me. I ain't afraid to be right around a gay person. Like, now, I would be lying if I was to say, I'm gonna go hang out with gay people. Like, I'm not gonna do that. That's just not the crowd that I kick it with. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't live in that crowd. Like, like my girl, she got a gay cousin, you know what I'm saying? And we ended up going to dinner with him on his birthday, and he brought some of his friends with him or whatever. But I was with my girl, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't, like, I was there with all of them, but it ain't make me feel like, man, I'm sweating, man. My armpits is wet. I don't give a damn, dude. I'm with my woman right here. You know what I'm saying? But would I have gone to that party by myself with them? No, because I know how the world is, right? So if the world see me out with a bunch of, gay dudes, the world gonna try to make me gay. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't want to sit up there and try to fight that battle. I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't about me being afraid to hang around them. I just don't want to. And don't get me wrong, I'll even go back to that dinner. Were they, did they go into their mode where they are, that they are who they are? A little bit they did, like, you know what I'm saying? But they wasn't trying to pretend for me. They were just being who they are right there. Now, when I did leave, when dinner was over and we left the restaurant, they was about to go bowling or some shit, and my girl was like, do you want to go? I'm like, hell no, I don't want to go. Like, I just want to go to the crib. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm out of here. Like, I did this dinner thing. I'm to the crib. And she went, right? So let me show you how, this is how the world can become fucked up, right? And this is where a lot of people do fall into that fear, or they may get offended by shit, right? So I leave, and we go back to the crib. She went back out to go meet them at the little bowling and shit, or skating, whatever the hell they did. And you know what's crazy? One of the dudes that was there, not her cousin, but it was one of the dudes at the table, he walked up to my girl, and they was just, having small talk, and he was like, girl, don't get mad at me. And, she let me know. He like, girl, don't get mad at me. But your man fine as fuck. Right? You see what I'm saying? This is why I don't live in those worlds, because I would be fucking offended if he would have said that shit to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, you can't do that to me, bruh. You can't talk to me like that. I don't live in your world, and you know that. Right? Did I give you the vibes? I didn't give you the vibes, right? So that's where shit can go wrong for people that live in my world and people that live in their world. Like, if I'm not coming across to you like that, that's where the worlds need to stay separate. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't come at me like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't live in that world. Now, if it was a female, right, to say some shit like that to my girl, like, girl, your man fine as hell, I would have fell back like, yeah, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I be in the gym a little bit. I do what I do. But that's the world I live in. So I would have felt cool. But I don't feel cool, because that ain't my world. Now, you go find somebody else in that world, and I ain't even gonna lie, if I would have thought about it like this, right? Let's just switch it up, right? Let's just say I got a female cousin, right? And this is me coming from my man's side. But let's switch it up. My girl different, right? She just like, whatever, nigga. That's what she did. She just brushed it off, like, thanks. But if I got a girl cousin, right? Flip the roles. And we have my girl cousin dinner, right? And it's a bunch of, gay chicks there or whatever. And roles reversed. My girl go to the crib because she ain't, she ain't gonna go out. She ain't going that far. She should say, look, I'm gonna go to the crib. You go with your cousins to whatever they about to go bowl or whatever. And my cousin, one of her girls walked up to me and said, hey, can I tell you something? Your girl fine as fuck. I would have been like, hey, nah, back the fuck up. Because I'm a man at the end of the day. I don't live in that world. That ain't the world that I live in. And I feel like, it's I look at it like it's equivalent to a dude coming up to me telling me, man, your girl fine as fuck. No, ain't nobody living in, I don't care if you a man or a female. You ain't about to tell me, man, don't be looking at my girl like that, bruh. That's the word, that's the way men live. I'm good on that, bruh. You can back the fuck up. Why you even looking at my girl like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, back the fuck up. Get away from me. You know what I'm saying? Because that's letting me know if you had a chance to, you would try to shoot your shot if I wasn't around. So I'm cool on that. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool. But that's just the different worlds that we live in. So I would have, like, killed that shit right there. But back to my man, the truth shall set you free, bruh. The truth shall set you free, bruh. It shall set you free. Don't live in that world where you got to pretend for people, man. You don't have to pretend. You can be the man that you want to be. And don't let nobody ever make you think different, man. You know what I'm saying? Stop lying and remember all the shit that can possibly happen based on the decisions that you make. And now that I think about it, damn, I was about to close out, but I thought about something. Somebody that's in the same boat as this man. It's a dude that I worked with, right? I used to work with him back in the days, and this is another one of the reasons why I tell people to stop pretending, man. So I used to work with this dude, and I ain't gonna say his name or nothing, but I remember when I first started working at my job, I saw him. I'm like, yeah, he gay. I knew he was. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not saying that I just like prejudged him, but I just knew he was because I just saw the way he was acting with the women. You know what I'm saying? He was just he was snapping his fingers and shit and throwing his head all around and yes this and yes that, and he had hella S's on every goddamn word. I just knew who he was, you know what I'm saying? But and the crazy part is, one day we ended up working in the same department, and he had to come talk to me about something. It was some work related shit, and then as soon as he walked away, it was a female approached me and said, "Did he try to just come talk to you?" I said, "What the fuck you mean? Did he just try to come talk to me?" I'm like, "He was talking to me about work." And she was just like, "Oh no, cause he gay and shit. And he be always trying to get on with every dude." I'm like, "Yeah, he ain't come at me like that. I don't give nobody no vibes that that's the world that I live in. So he ain't try to come at me like that or whatever." But that's when I confirmed him. I knew it. I knew he was, but. And I knew he was just because of the way he was talking. I saw the way he was communicating with the females. He was just like super duper, just, doing his thing. I knew it. I just knew he was gay. So when he would come talk to me, though, he would be like, I would see him talking to the girls like, yes, bitch, yes. And then he would come talk to me, what's up, Dust, man? You know what I'm saying? Boom, 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 boom. I'm just like, yeah, man, we all cool. I would talk to him about work and shit. And then one thing led to another. We ended up having like a picnic or some shit at work. And everybody came to the picnic, right? And I'm thinking to myself, like, this dude, he gonna just show up with his boyfriend or whatever. This is gonna be cool. Man, this motherfucker showed up with a wife and like 3 kids. I'm like, hold the fuck on. What the fuck? What is going on, man? The truth shall set you free, my man. You go out here and get a wife and kids and all that shit, but you out here, and the crazy part is, come to find out from just all the stories I would hear coming through work, he was out here sleeping with some of the dudes at our job. So I'm like, you sleeping with these dudes at our job, smashing all of them, knowing you don't want to be with your wife, but you go home and let's just say if your wife want to have sex, you gonna go do it to her too? You know what I'm saying? Like, what happens, man, when if somebody gets sick? What happens, right? So you go out here and do that. Why live the lie? Just go be free. And I'm thinking to myself, like, all right, maybe did he just become gay? Nah, he had been gay for years. And here's the crazy part, right? So he ended up not working at my job no more. And I ended up going to a festival with my best friend. This was years later. It was like a festival on the west side of Cleveland, and it was like a food festival or some shit. Why I see this dude and his wife again? I'm like, oh man, how the fuck she don't know? How she don't know? Like, he even like had the gay dress. He had like the look. He. Not saying that they got a look, but I mean, come on, man. Let's just be real, man. Some gay people have a look. You know what I'm saying? But he had that look. He actually looked gay. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, damn, that's crazy, man. It had been years. I'm just like, man, she don't know. I'm like, man, if my girl knew when we was just at the store for about 3 minutes, I'm like, his wife gotta know. But what? I guess, some people just decide they don't want to break up because of the kids. But I'm like, damn, you think your kids probably don't know? Man, look, humans know shit, man. Little kids can figure shit out. Like when I found out my brother was gay, I knew he was gay, man. Like, didn't nobody even have to tell me he was gay. I didn't know what gay was. I just knew he was different. I just knew it because of the way he danced and shit. I'm like, man, why you dancing like that? I'm a little kid looking like, man, why you popping your ass and shit, bro? Kicking your leg up to the sky and doing a fucking split. We don't dance like that. I just knew that shit. But, like with this dude at my job, I'm like, what, you think don't nobody know? People know, bruh. Be free. The truth shall set you free. How much stress does it have to fucking be? How stressful is it, man, to be at home lying and pretending? It gotta be super duper stressful, man. But that's gonna be a wrap, man, for this episode of Let's Talk Podcast, man. And I was gonna leave off with something, just with a question. No, I got a question. This is my question for this week, this episode. Okay, what would you do? What would you do? You come home, right? You got, say for instance, you got a child, right? You got a little kid. You come home, and your girlfriend, you and your girlfriend live together, or you and your boyfriend live together, and you got a kid, but it ain't the other one's kid. And let's just say that kid's like 5 or 6 years old, right? And you come home, and you walk in the crib, and your child is crying, and your child you say, what you crying for? And your child tell you, she gave me a whooping. What you doing? This ain't your baby mama, or this ain't the child of the mother or the father of your child, but she snaps off one day because your child did something and she whooped him. What you doing? What are you doing? What's your next move? Your girlfriend or your boyfriend beat your child without talking to you. They just did it. Like, I snapped off and like your child was so fucking bad I just had to whoop him. What would you do? Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you'll do. But that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Let's Talk Podcast, man. I appreciate y'all being here. Please smash that like button. Please subscribe to my channel. Please follow me on all my different social media platforms. As you can see, they're right there. Every one of them. Right there. Right there. They're listed right there. So here, please like, share, and subscribe, as you can see there. And this is Let's Talk Podcast. And all of my social media links, everything is down below. So go ahead and smash that like button again. Please turn on the bell notification so that you can get the notifications when I do go on. Without turning on those notifications, you'll never know when I post a video, because for some odd reason, my videos are not liked by YouTube's algorithm. So I end up my views are like terrible right now. I guess I'm saying the wrong words. They don't like the words that I'm saying. I guess if I talked about more bullshit and more negativity, they might show my shit. If I talked about more destructive shit that would destroy our fucking community and our people more, our humans more, maybe you might show my shit. But because I'm trying to fix the world, I guess YouTube's algorithm doesn't like that. So I'm going to find a way to get this thing pumped up even more. And I'm going to keep on pushing, man. I'm going to keep on pushing. But again, all the information and shit is down below. So check me out. Until the next time, my people.